Okay, what we're going to talk about today real quick is a Pathfinder Youth Adventure Trucker Phase deliverable, and it's to rescue a wet lighter. When you buy a Bic lighter, it's going to have a metal guard that wraps around the top of that friction wheel. All you have to do is take the screwdriver of your multi-tool or your Swiss Army knife, stick it underneath there and pop that piece of metal out. It'll come out in one piece and you can discard that. You don't want it in your kit, because what it does is it blocks that wheel, and it's made to have to put more pressure on the wheel to get the lighter to light. But what that does is it gets in the way of you being able to dry that wheel when it gets wet. So you want to get rid of that. This lighter has to be fairly dry in order to light. So let's understand how this lighter works real quick. First of all, we have fuel inside this canister, and when we push the button, fuel is released. We then have a ferrocerium rod underneath, on top of a spring under this wheel that gets pushed up so that when the wheel turns, it strikes that ferrocerium rod to ignite that fuel and light the lighter. The ferrocerium rod can be wet and it will still work. The fuel port has to be clear of any debris if you drop it in the mud, and the wheel itself needs to be fairly dry for striking the ferrocerium rod. So, if our lighter falls in the water, what we're going to do is we're going to shake it vigorously 5 or 10 times to get the major amount of water out of it. Then we're going to blow into it directly down on top of it. Shake it a couple more times, blow it a couple more times. Take your shirt tail and run your shirt tail right on the edge of that striking wheel to dry that striking wheel off. And if it turns as you're rubbing it on your shirt tail, that's fine. Check it, and if it's sparking, it won't be long before it lights. There we go, boom. That didn't take long at all.